Folks, you don't understand. Hey, come on. Hey. Folks, come on, there's a water shortage. I can't hose you down. What's... You're going crazy. Thank you. What a nice group tonight. Well, you look like you just popped out of the ground. Put a little Vigoro on that thing, and you could just sprout. Boy, that's jazzy.
No, this is my anti-drought suit here.
Look like you came from the Grammys, but we'll get to that. Anyway, you probably know we have a big water shortage out here.
Yep.
If you go to a restaurant now, they will not serve you water unless you specifically ask for it. And we're all trying to do our best. Ed couldn't use his shower this morning. He stood in there with one little wet and wash, one of those little teeny things. Well, what's going on? Did you see the new video game that's actually out called Desert Storm? It's actually true. Toy makers it's called Desert Storm, in which little toy Patriot missiles try to knock out Scud missiles. They jump right on it. And another war-related game from Iraq called Super Chicken Brothers. The object is for two Iraqi deserters to make it home through their own minefield. It's an interesting game. Here's a late-breaking bulletin. President Gorbachev has sent an emissary to Hollywood to try and negotiate an end to the Grammys. Boy, that's a long... How many of you sat through the whole show? That's a long show.
Yeah.
Nobody? The Grammys were so long that before Gary Shandling finished the show, CBS wanted to replace him with a younger host. Now, Bob Dylan deserved it. He took a Lifetime Achievement Award, and he just about took a lifetime to accept it. Did you see the speech? Rather thoughtful speech. I flipped over to Wonder Years between thank you and very much. And he just... and then Vanilla Ice. Did you see Vanilla Ice? According to Bob Dylan, Vanilla Ice was actually making sense. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but every time Vanilla Ice opens his mouth, I get the feeling he's about 3 cubes short of a tray. All right. Do you remember when Manuel Noriega was in Panama, what the Army was doing to try to get him out? They were blasting heavy metal music. They're doing the same thing, apparently, in Iraq now, are blasting heavy metal music to disorient the Iraqi army. Really heavy stuff. And apparently each record is introduced by the disc jockey Wolfman Blitzer. I mean, when the Pentagon said they were using B-52s, I didn't know they meant the rock group. That's true. But they have been doing that, and finally, that got to you, this heavy metal stuff. Finally, one sensitive Iraqi soldier finally came out of the bunker and requested Michael Feinstein singing Miss Otis Regrets. He just became... Well, things are happening on the news. Tariq Aziz is back in Moscow, I guess, with a rather circuitous route to avoid, as you probably know, Allied bombing. And they didn't say what his route was, but by the time he got to Moscow, he was suffering from goat lag. It's not easy joking about these kind of things, folks. Really not. But I understand the Iraqi troops on the front line are having it rough because the supply lines are cut. As a matter of fact, if Domino's Pizza takes longer than 30 days to get it to you, it's free. Well, here's something I wasn't aware of. I wouldn't have thought this, but apparently now it's official. Little thing in the paper today, more Americans own cats than dogs. You see, now that's an issue that really separates people. There are dog lovers and cat lovers and dog haters and so forth. But if you have a dog, I mean, there's a basic difference between a dog and a cat. If you have a dog, it'll wag its tail, it'll come over, or lick your face, shake your paw. Or you shake his paw. A dog will do that for you, right? Now, I always get the feeling your cat is trying to figure out how to get into your knife drawer while you're asleep. Something shifted. Okay. Exciting show business news. Geraldo Rivera is getting a new show called Now It Can Be Told. Boy, finally, we're going to hear all the cheap sensationalism he's been holding back all these years. Apparently, he's keeping the old show with all the strange guests, so this is just kind of like icing on the kooks. Now, how many of you saw this bizarre tabloid story that some woman, I guess, trying to get publicity, talked about Willie Nelson? You know what I'm talking about? I know a lot of you don't read that stuff. But in headline, she claimed, seeking publicity, that she made love with Willie Nelson for 9 straight hours. In the middle, she claims, of which they had a somersault on the bed. Give me a break. A cartwheel, maybe. But not a somersault. I'm not making that story up. It's true. All the junk you read. Well, a little tidbit of information you may be interested in and maybe not. Did you know the very first telephone directory in America was brought out on this day, issued this day in 1878 in New Haven, Connecticut? And wouldn't you know it, the first one only had 50 names in it. And the first one was the AAAA Colonial Moving Company. It was 20 years, actually, before you could stand on it to reach anything. Very, very thin book. See, later years had more names and the book was... Okay, I don't want to take any more of your time. We, hey, folks, you know where your cars are? We have people out there right now. Jerry Seinfeld is here tonight, a very funny young man. Yeah. Lovely actress Brooke Adams is with us, and two gentlemen, I believe, from Reno, Nevada, cowboy poets are here. Rod McQuarrie and Colin Sweeten are with us tonight. So stay where you are. Thank you. Fine, thank you. Tell you about this in a moment. Jerry Seinfeld here tonight. He's got a new show on Seinfeld on NBC.
Yeah.
Funny guy.
He's good.
Yeah. Brooke Adams, Rod McQuarrie, and Colin Sweeten, cowboy poets who write the original cowboy poetry. Therefore, they're known as cowboy poets. Okay. Yesterday, we found out was the last day of the 88th International Toy Fair in New York. This is where all the new toys, I guess, for Christmas, they bring them, and all these stores show up to see what's going to be new. 1,360 different manufacturers from not only this country, but Europe, Japan, Hong Kong, bring their toys. 20,000 buyers show up from all over the country. And we sent our head researcher, Denise Sulam, back to New York. You actually went to New York, didn't you, Denise? I did. And she brought back some samples. We thought you parents might like to see a sneak preview of what they're trying to sell for Christmas. This is called Hog Holler. That's right, folks, Hog Holler by Ohio Artists. Anybody know anything about hog calling? Anybody here from the Midwest? You know the sound you make is call a hog, right? Suey, 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 suey. All right. Now what you do, I guess 4 people can actually play this game, but since you're here, I guess you actually do your hog call into this device here, and you have little plastic hogs on this little track. Folks, hey. And then by doing your yell, you propel your little hog along, and the idea is to get him on the front. Called the Hog Holler. You want to come over here?
Yeah, surely.
You want to back here, and I'll take this one. We have ready? Sweet. Well, you don't play fair. Wait a minute. You got.
You said ready. I was ready.
No, you just don't. You have to put your mouth on this.
Oh, okay.
All right, hang on.
That was a fair test.
I don't understand. Gompel's interviewing Kissinger and one's blowing little hogs into a trough. Tell you something?
Yes, anything else?
All right, sure. This is called... Okay. Grabbing Grasshoppers. Made by Tyco. We'll sell at major toy stores for about $10. You got a little plastic net here. You have little grasshoppers. I have little stainless steel legs here, and what you do, you press these grasshoppers down, and then quickly, you see how many you can catch as they are propelled into the air. So you do this quickly like so. The old grabbing grasshoppers. All righty. Now, this is called Bow Wow. Clever. Made by Toy Island, will be available in major toy stores for around $10. Now, the idea with this is... We did that one already, okay. The idea is this one, as you can see. I guess he has a little bone in there and a little playthings. Your idea is to try to reach in there and get those out without the dog knowing what you're doing, correct? You put stuff in, yeah, okay. You see the little bone in there. Is the trick to do this very
softly, very quietly.
Hey.
Got it. Dog's got better security than I do at home. All righty, what else have we got here? Along here, this is called the Munster Game, made by Chang Sandy Enterprises. This could be about $10, I guess, at gift stores. Called the Slapping Munster Game. I guess two people can do this, but I'll try to illustrate it. That's it? That's about it, huh? All right. It's not very long, is it? I mean, looks like Sam Donaldson and William Shatner a little bit, doesn't it? All right, you can take that one away. Wall bangers by Nyland will sell for around $10 major toy stores this April. I guess you can run them into a wall, and when they hit, they make a sound of a car, I guess, being demolished.
That's too realistic.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
You could get the little plastic Ventura Freeway and play drive-by shooting. About $12, made by Jam 6 Saxofoam. Saxofoam. All righty. Now, do I just play this? Or?
Just like a saxophone.
And just blow in it?
Look at it. He got bubbles. Saxophone.
29 years on TV, I'm blowing palm olive out of a toy saxophone. Okay. Saxophone, you got it. How we doing? We just got... another one. We got time. Let's see. Okay. Dolls are always big. This is called Magic Baby Bottle, made by Tyco. You squeeze the bottle, and she I guess, begs for food. She's hungry. You press the middle thing here. And then you press the third one, and she burps. All right. Got time for one more here? All right, here's a little doll here. This is called Susie Snapshot. Easy, Susie. Easy. Easy. By Lennis Galoob Toys for around $35. You have a little camera here that actually has a flash, and the flash... What? What?
There she goes. Yay!
Okay.
Marry me, Ed.
We'll be back in a moment. Jerry Seinfeld, stay where you are. Hey, hear that? Oh. Jerry Seinfeld's a very... What? Darn. What? I didn't get it. Well, no, I was going to save that. What happened to the duck? Somebody took my duck?
Oh.
It's all right.
You still have your chicken?
It's all right. I'll get another duck later. I started to to talk with, to introduce.
Here's your duck.
Here's my duck.
Thank you very much.
Feel more comfy now?
Can't work without my ducky. Jerry Seinfeld has his own show on NBC, and it's gotten great reviews. He's a funny guy, does stand-up, does sketches, a little everything. Would you welcome Jerry Seinfeld?
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hi. Well, here's the way it is. I got some very exciting news. As I was driving over, I thought, should I tell them about it? It's not really official yet. I don't know if I should even mention it. Well, I'll tell you what I do know to be the fact right now. According to the information that I have, in the envelope that I received, it seems that I may have already won some very valuable prizes. Well, thank you. Thank you. Please, please. They're not saying anything definitely yet. But it does look like I am among the top people. But I mean, they have like a list of like 8 or 9 names, and I was like right in there. 5 or 6. I know Ed. I met Ed. He never mentioned anything to me about this. I actually was kind of skeptical, but then it says right in the thing, imagine you, Jerry Seinfeld, driving a brand new car. It must be serious. It's on the level. They always say that you may have already won. Everybody gets excited when they hear that. You may have already won. You may have already lost. They never mention that. Wouldn't it be great if a sweepstakes company get some guts? You know what I mean? Send out the truth to America. Send everyone giant envelopes. You have definitely lost. You open it up, there's this whole letter of explanation. Even we cannot believe how badly you've done in this contest. We've never seen anyone play so low. Win, win, win. Well, the Olympics are next year, 92. Are you ready? It's the greatest thing, the Olympics. But don't you feel bad for the silver medal winner? Isn't that the worst possible thing that can happen in sports? Think about it. Think about what the silver means. You win the gold medal, you feel great. You win the bronze, you think, well, at least I got something. But you win that silver. The silver means, congratulations, you almost won. Of all the losers, you came in first of that group. You're the number 1 loser. And you know, they have those timers. They don't lose by much. These electronic timers in the sprint. There was an American in the last Olympics in '88 lost by 3/100ths of a second in a sprint. 3/100ths. How do you live with that the rest of your life? I mean, his whole life now, whenever that period of time passes in his head, he must think, oh. It was just like, I trained, I worked out, I exercised. My entire life I devoted to the Olympics, to this event. I focused on nothing. I never had a date, drink, beer, nothing. Just exercise, and then The photo finish, you know, it was like silver, gold, silver, gold, silver, gold. If I had a pimple, I would have won. I would have been the guy. Then this is a Summer Olympics, I guess. I like the Winter Olympics. My favorite Winter Olympics event is the luge. I don't know if you know this one. This is like a bobsled run, but the guy doesn't even have a sled. It's just bob is what it is. It's the only sport. You could have people competing in this against their will. We would have no way of knowing. We don't even know whether these people want to be in this thing. They can just sneak up on people, grab them. Hey, hey, hey. That would be a new event. The involuntary luge, I guess they would call it. But sports is a business now. And there are many businesses, many jobs. I've never had a job myself. I don't know what the specifics of jobs are, but I see a lot of big buildings, and I imagine that people are doing something in these buildings. I know that they have coffee. These are the two main things that I've noticed about the world as I drive around. There's a lot of buildings, a lot of businesses, a lot of jobs, and a lot of coffee. Have you ever been in a place where there was no coffee at all? Every door I open, somebody goes, like coffee? Having coffee? Who's having coffee? Can I have some coffee? Do you want coffee? While you're waiting, can I get you a cup of coffee? Even if you have coffee, would you like more coffee? Can I fill that up for you? Can I warm that up? Can I top that up? I mean, I feel like I could lift up a manhole cover. We just made a fresh pod. Would you like some? They have coffee at home, coffee at work. They have mugs on the dashboard of the car because they can't make it? I mean, what are you going to have, like, scuba coffee? People just carry it in tanks on their back? Coffee's taking over our lives. I mean, there's coffee machines we have to call Mr. What does that tell you? Or that other scary name, Brewmaster. What does that mean? You wake up in the morning, yes, Brewmaster. Thank you very much.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Very good stuff. Want some coffee?
Yo, it's coffee.
You got it right there. You got to have a habit.
Everywhere it's coffee.
We take this quick break. Stay with us. We're right back. Coffee, right here. Coffee. We have returned. The Bartlett Band. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
I've seen your show. You do some funny stuff on there. You blend the sketches and then go into a little stand-up and...
Yeah, we try and tell a story, because what happens in my life is that I get ideas from things that happen, and instead of just telling about it in the show, we cut to a little stand-up monologue. But
I love the stuff on the athletics, the Olympics and all that.
Yeah.
Did you do anything at all?
Gym class was the only...
Everybody remembers their gym teacher, don't they?
What was the thing with the uniform? If you weren't wearing that uniform, remember they go through, line up in your squads, and, it was like black socks, get out of here, And the rope, I could never figure out why we had to learn to climb these giant... Is this coming in handy for anybody? I mean, I'm not going to be dating Rapunzel, Coach. Can we skip the rope today? And it's supposedly safe, I guess, because you got your spotter protecting you, some other little pencil-neck weasel down there going, I'd rather fall off that rope than slide down it.
I remember that.
Remember that rope?
Yes.
They made it some kind of friction heat rope or something.
A lot of hemp in there.
Oh. Boy, they must have tested out a lot of rope to come up to that one. We're not getting enough redness and irritation from this rope, and we're trying to hurt the legs on these little kids. Do you have anything that would really bring up some nice welts?
Some nice severe burns is what we're looking for. You live in California now? I mean,
I live in California,
Are you on a health nut, like a health kick? California is the most health-conscious, diet-crazed perfect body.
I try and read the ingredient. Well, to me, the hardest ingredients to understand are in medications. Like whenever I have a cold or something and I go into the drugstore and I read the thing, and I go, all right, well, this has got sorbitan sesquioleate. You know, and I'm, what am I reading? Well, I don't know what the hell these words mean. What is Retsin? They keep telling us how much Retsin we're getting. Now it's got an extra drop of Retsin. And we all go, well, that's good. Good to hear we're getting some more Retsin. What is it? You know, they show you the guy. I love the part of the commercial where they show you the guy, like the cartoon man. You know, he's got the head to the side, and like they show you, it's like an X-ray shot, and he's like glowing red, or lightning is attacking him, or... I never had a doctor say to me, are you having any pain? Yes, I am. Are you having any lightning with the pain? Are you out of focus at all? Do you seem like you're in a fun house mirror? Sometimes the whole guy
Did you
will
ever burst into flames just occasionally?
Are your feet bursting into flames at any time?
I always like what they have on there after they say, do not operate heavy machinery. Like you're going to go out and jump on a John Deere tractor or something. Heavy machinery.
Yeah, when you have a cold, you want to get in the tractor right away.
Yeah. By the way, I should mention not only you're doing this show tonight, but you're on with Bob Costas later in the interview.
Right.
He's a very clever guy. He's got a killing work schedule. He does the sports, does the show late at night.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we did kind of an interview about the kind of the ins and outs of comedy.
Yeah.
You know?
I'd like to know those sometimes.
Yeah. It's not as
Many
much fun
times
as
I'd like to know
comedy.
the ins and outs. I'm saving this, folks. I want to show you this. This is called Mother and Baby Duck, made by Tommy Tots. You get this for about $7. Now look at this, folks. How can you not adore? Well, maybe it's just me.
I remember my mother doing that.
I thought it was adorable. Who knew? So what else you want to talk about? Anything going on outside of your show?
Well, the show is really a lot of fun. Right. It's very exciting being on TV. It's a little strange that it's my real life.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like I didn't get a show. I kind of became a show. So we have to kind of differentiate between the real me and the TV Jerry, you know?
Right.
Sometimes things I would do in my real life I can't do on TV. TV Jerry wouldn't do that.
That's probably true.
You know?
We're going to be back. We've got, who we got tonight? Brooke Adams, and we have the Cowboy Puts with us, so stay where you are. Here is a very lovely actress. Brooke has just completed 3 movies back-to-back. Would you welcome, please, Brooke Adams. Brooke. How are you, Brooke?
Good.
3 movies in a row?
Yeah.
Are any of them out yet?
No, none of them are out yet, but...
Well, that's unusual, isn't it? Or isn't it? I don't know.
No, I mean, to do 3 movies back to back? That's, for me,
Well, I mean,
that's
have
unusual.
to have the
yeah.
3rd movie before the first one was out, or the 2nd out before the first. I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, what kind of movies? They're all horror pictures. A lot of them, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, the first one is a horror movie. Roger Corman's company did it. Famous for horror, low-budget movies. This one was called The Unborn. I play a woman who can't get pregnant, and my husband and I go to a doctor for an in vitro pregnancy and find out later in the story through other women who were also at that same doctor's office that the doctor has been monkeying around with the genes of the babies.
Yeah, that's bad news, all right.
Sounds like trouble.
I hate it when
What
that
do you say?
happens.
Monkeying around. Is that a play on words?
No.
Oh, I didn't know.
No, but that's good. No, this is the babies have like one more chromosome than we do. The babies are going to be superhuman, incredibly smart, incredibly strong, and as a result, my body is trying to reject the baby. It's like a disease growing
I wouldn't
inside.
reject your body, but I can see why. It just came to mind. I don't want to throw anything away. So your body rejects the baby, or the baby rejects your body?
Well, your body tries to reject the baby, but because the baby is so strong and smart, the baby holds on, and in many cases, the mother dies, but the baby survives.
So that was the last one you did.
That was the first one I did.
All right. Now,
And I see that as a film about a couple that shouldn't have a
yes,
child.
there are people who shouldn't intermingle. What was the, or even date, as a matter of fact. What was the second one
The
called?
second one was called Sometimes They Come Back.
Now, what's this about? Sometimes they come back.
It's about
And-
relatives.
Yes.
This is it's based on a Stephen King short story, and it's a movie actually for television about these basically dead, decaying, grotesque cadavers that can burst into your home unbeknownst to you and wreak havoc, or they can pretend they're just normal teenagers.
So nobody notices the difference. Well, that sounds fascinating. Dead, decomposing cadavers who break into your home and do things. What do you don't play one of those, do you?
No, they broke into my home, and I do a lot of screaming and panting and running. And,
Okay, that was number 2.
and
Now, I
then
suppose the third one is a
third
musical,
one-
maybe?
No, the
I guess
third
not,
one
huh?
is the most horrific of all. I play the mother of 2 teenage daughters.
Is it a horror?
No, it's not a horror
Oh.
film. It's kind of a light relationship story.
Which would you
play a
rather do,
waitress.
though? Which would you rather do? Why do people like to do horror? I mean, the
do
crazy.
horror?
Yeah. Because you can really
I don't know.
chew it
I
up a
don't know
little
that
bit?
I would say I like to do it. Well, you can chew up the scenery,
Yeah.
which is fun. But I get asked to do it. I guess is the reason I do it.
Vincent Price, I remember, said he always loved to do those kind of pictures. He's a marvelous actor, but he said he could get in there and just have a great time
Yeah.
and play as villainous as he wanted to be.
The very first movie I ever did was a horror movie called Shockwaves, which
That pops up on cable now and then, doesn't it?
way too often for my taste.
Shockwaves. I forgot the plot of that.
This was
Dead,
an
composing,
unsuspecting, exactly, unsuspecting tourists on a boat traveling through the Devil's Triangle off of the coast of Miami bump into a ship on which some dead, decomposing Nazi mutants.
Boy, that's double jeopardy. That's double trouble. Nazi mutants.
Nazis aren't bad enough. They gotta be mutants.
They gotta be mutants.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Mutants that they can now live underwater and breathe salt water.
Ah, of course. They're the best kind. Now you say, are you good at these when you have to scream, or do they bring in something? I've seen actresses who do sound effects where they can do horrifying screams.
I think I do a good scream.
Would you
do want me to do a scream?
Why not? What do you just? You've seen. You walk in. You're on the boat. You go down below. You open the door, and there's one of these Nazi teenage decomposing mutant, whatever. And you open the door, and what would you say? Okay. Good scream. Good
thanks.
scream.
On the first one, though, actually, we never had the Nazi decomposing mutants there. So we were just told, they will be terrible when we bring them in.
That's another thing they do in a lot of these movies. They shoot it out, and the actors or actresses never see what they're reacting to, so you've got to pretend that it's all there.
Yeah, you've got to pretend it's all there, and then later, you're going that and running and heaving, and there, is one little guy who's coming
Running
up
and
out
heaving.
of the water.
Running and heaving, these are a few of my favorite things. His mind's just on a cog is out of there. You lived in Spain for a while. Did you work there or just live there?
No, I just lived there. I lived the life of sort of a Spanish housewife.
That's a
Although I
good
wasn't
place for it.
married.
Good place for it in Spain.
Yeah, I had, actually, I spent 4 years cooking, cleaning, shopping, ironing,
Just
and
steady?
dreaming.
Without a break? This interview, I'm just, I don't know, I'm just pawing around here. So why did you do that?
I had a
don't
very fertile imagination while I was ironing, though. I used to imagine that I was on this talk show that was kind of the Tonight Show of Spain called
Right.
Estudio Uno, and I would be interviewed all the time about the movies that I had
Really?
just done. Yeah.
You just played a role.
Yeah. And the weird part about this was that I imagined that I'd just seen Sean Connery in a movie. I can't remember what it was. And I loved him. And so I imagined that I'd just done a movie with him. And cut to 4 years later, I was in Spain doing a movie with Sean Connery.
Oh.
You see?
Nostradamus lives. We're going to take a break. Stay where you are. We're coming right back. Isn't Sean living staying for a while? My next guests are two gentlemen. These two gentlemen performed at the Cowboy Poetry Gathering last month in Elko, Nevada. It's an annual event. It's become very popular, sparked a revival of the authentic American art form. Would you welcome Colin Sweeten and Rod McQuarrie? Okay, who's who here? Which one's Colin? And you're Colin and you're Rod. Guys, I apologize because last time you were on the show, you were booked a few weeks ago, and we ran out of time, and you didn't make it. I'm sorry. Did it create any problem for you?
We're just glad to be here anytime.
Okay. Good terse answer.
We're a wild bunch of party animals, and we run with a group of people who tear the paper right off the wall and raise all kinds of unmitigated hell, but we're usually in bed by 8:30 or 9 o'clock.
All those people up home that stayed up past their curfew to hear me, oh, boy,
Well, but they're staying up again tonight.
they're going
right?
to do it again tonight, so
Yeah.
they'll be there.
You two guys grew up together, I understand.
Nope.
Grew up together about 1,000 miles apart, I think.
Well, grew up at the... Maybe I should have said grew up at the same time, but not actually joined. I didn't mean you were...
Right.
Didn't mean you were joined or anything. But you had similar
same type of
backgrounds.
life.
Uh-huh. Now, is this a picture of both of you together?
That's myself and my two younger brothers.
Fine.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. I thought this was you and Rod here.
He wasn't born
He
then.
wasn't born yet. So he couldn't get in this picture, could he?